Heritage Month, so there's going to be bourbons next month, but we also want to spot in some other little Thirsty Thursdays or other kind of bourbon events around. And so maybe you guys were talking about on a Saturday wanting to do maybe do like a college game day at your house.
Tuesday, but Saturday.
Yeah. So we can we'll chat and do some more.
Sometime. Not
But then-
immediately.
So I'll just turn it over to Kelly.
So,
We'll work out the time.
and just so everybody knows, I do have a YouTube channel, so I'll be recording a little bit. It may or may not come out. There's a lot of echo in here, so we'll see what happens. Just a brief history about myself. I got into the whole whiskey thing, and I originally got into Scotch back in 2014. I was a young man of 34 years old, and I was walking through Harley's one day on the loop, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a man. I'm 34 years old. Men drink Scotch. So I just decided at that point in time I was going to start drinking Scotch, and my first bottle I purchased was a Glenlivet 12-year-old. And if you've ever had Glenlivet, you can appreciate it, but back then I didn't know what I was drinking, and it was a fun experience. So from that point on, I spent 3 years, about 3 to 4 years, drinking nothing but single malt scotches, some blended scotches, and then about 2018, I started doing whiskey tastings at my house, and at the same time, shortly after I started, Heritage Wine and Spirits opened up, and then through Nishal Patel and Vivek, I met Cole and eventually Travis and this whole group, and I started coming to these meetings. So I was a pretty prominent figure for a couple years, and then COVID happened, life happened, we all kind of quit hanging out because of, stuff and things. So, but that's a brief history on myself, and I currently have a YouTube channel. It's not for the faint of heart. It's very non-PC. It is technically called Uncensored Whiskey Reviews. So if you're not of the faint of heart, by all means, please look it up. It is just straight toilet humor. So be warned. We talk a little bit about whiskey, but it's just me and my buddy who we've known each other for 30 years, and we just sit there and just shoot the breeze and have a good time doing it. This first whiskey, now I did print out a bunch of information regarding the distilleries. We can get in that if y'all want to, or we can really just talk about the whiskey. Can I get a glass?
Yeah.
No, that's great. So we're going to start off. I did taste a little bit of these last night. I recorded a couple quick videos with my buddy on the channel, and we decided that the order that they're in currently is probably the best way to taste these whiskeys. We're going to start with Auchentoshan. Auchentoshan is, I got to look back at my notes. I can't even remember it. It's a, where was it? These are all by region, and I can't remember the region. I'm having a brain fart. I apologize. Y'all got me. Oh, Lowland is right at the top. I can't read. So before we get into the actual whiskey, I'm going to explain why we have these 5 here. There's 5 major regions, 6 depending on who you talk to. You have Lowlands, Lowlands, Highlands, Speyside, Campbelltown, and Isla. Now, it is not a recognized region, but there is an unofficial 6th, which is the island region. Now, there are roughly 700-ish, 800 small little islands around Scotland, and there's very few actual distillers on these islands. So you can find a couple of them. Talister's one of them. It's probably the main one. But let's get back to this whiskey. Auchentoshan, and the reason why we decided to start with this one is because it is triple distilled. Now, y'all have done Irish whiskey tastings before? Yeah? Have y'all? I think I've been them. So this one has a lot in common with Irish whiskey in that it's triple distilled. Now it is aged in primarily American oak, but the triple distillation is gonna smooth out the flavors. It's gonna give you some different characteristics. You probably get some fruit, maybe some baking spices. Baking. Like cookies, bread, stuff like that. But as far as something that is approachable and easy to drink, if you recommend anyone getting into Scotch, James, what's up, buddy? If you recommend anyone getting into Scotch, and I would start them on this because it's probably the most easily drinkable, easily approachable, and we're gonna go up in temperature from here. So, any thoughts on this one?
I like it. It's an easy drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very easy drink. It's very mild.
Yeah. It's yeah. Well, who said breakfast? Did you say breakfast? So it's funny, on my Wikipedia notes, it actually says Auchentoshan is considered a breakfast whiskey. So it's very very astute of you and recognizing. You get anything else? Grassy notes, like maybe some apple.
So it's pronounced Auchentoshan.
Auchentoshan. We go through some whiskey with this group. Does anybody have any negative feedback? Any like dislikes, or because you're going to get a polarizing, you're going to get polarizing views when it comes to Scotch. If you're a bourbon aficionado, if that is your wheelhouse, then barley can and will be very abrasive to you. Like the flavors, you might not like it. Some people, I have a good friend who this last one, and there's a reason why it's last, and y'all are going to taste it. He was primarily a bourbon drinker, didn't like Scotch. He tried a very smoky peated Scotch whiskey, fell in love with it, loved Scotch to death. So it's very polarizing on whether you love it or you hate it. There's hardly ever a middle road. Do we get any negative feedback? Anybody?
The only negative, I mean, it's fun,
Yeah.
right? It's not like there's not like a lot of flavor to it.
No,
It's-
this one-
It's just.
And the triple distillation is going to lead you in that direction. And another aspect of the triple another tidbit, another note is this is one of probably less than 1% of all Scotch whiskey distilleries that actually triple distill it. The by and large majority, 99+% of all Scotch distilleries are twice distilled, which is going to lend you more flavors. Now, I was reading earlier that because they triple distill, and if you think about something that's heavily distilled like vodka, the more you distill something, the higher the proof gets. Usually, whenever something's twice distilled, you might get it up to 130, 140 proof. And I think this one was closer to 150, 160, and it's triple distillation, and then they barrel it and age it, whatever. Yeah. Anything else? Nothing?
My first time tasting Scotch.
That's great.
Yes. I'm
Well,
61 years old. My first time tasting
Well,
Scotch.
it's a great experience, and I always,
It was good. I didn't think I could do it, but
I
I
always,
enjoyed it.
me personally, I always encourage people to, you don't have, the point here is not to get drunk. The point here is to have a new experience, and then you can tell somebody else about it. They're like, oh, I was drinking some single malt Scotch the other day. Oh, what did you drink? Oh, I picked up an Auchentoshan. I've had that, and we can compare thoughts on it. So, I think it's a great thing. Like this one right here, this one's gonna polarize the group. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. Now, I don't want to lead anybody down a path, and I will recommend once we get to it, don't smell it first. Just take a
Hold your nose.
Yeah, just take. You're gonna smell it as soon as you put it up your face, but don't just plunge your nose down into it. Yeah. I do recommend that, and I haven't been to a East Texas Bourbon Society meeting in a long time. And whenever I show people new whiskeys, I personally like to tell them not to plunge their nose deep into the whiskey, because the ethanol and the alcohol can definitely affect your palate, because most of your taste buds are affected by your smell. So when you're tasting these tonight, I definitely don't, you can get a little whiff. I definitely don't recommend going straight off into it. Now with this group, y'all have probably tasted some high proof bourbons in the past, so you might be a little more experienced than your everyday drinker. So, the next one we're going to try. Anything else on this last one? Auchentoshan? Anything? Last comments?
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I noticed in the lighter color, but this one compared to like the Dalmore, is that because of how many times it's been distilled, or?
No, ma'am. So,
Yeah.
all right. Oh, that's in the 12-year. I wish we had that. Okay. Now, they may not come out and tell you this, but some of these whiskeys have food color. Unfortunately. Now, you can look at this one. This is a 10-year. It's very light, golden color. This one's very dark. This is a clear bottle. Some Scotch whiskey distilleries, they're not, forthcoming with what they do, but some of them do add color. I've got a 18-year-old Scotch at the house that is almost exactly this color. Primarily, 90+%, and I'm pulling this number out of my butt, 90+% of all Scotch whiskey is aged in previously used barrels. Now, they may get some new barrels from time to time, but by and large, most of the whiskey that is aged and distilled in Scotland is used in either former bourbon barrels, former sherry barrels. Like this one, they use sherry barrels. They use European oak, all kinds of different stuff. I've got some, like this one was triple matured in first fill bourbon barrels, quarter cask bourbon barrels, and PX European hogsheads, which is just a different size barrel is what they call it. But unfortunately, kind of like tequila, they put some additives in it. They don't have the same regulations we do here in the States. Big thing that I like about bourbon, it is highly, highly regulated by the U.S. government. The government's good about a couple things. Bourbon, they keep it pretty standard. So, unfortunately, some of these Scotch whiskeys do, but allegedly, I'm not going to, make a claim without having any substantial proof. But with that said, we're going to
proof of the Auchentoshan.
Yes, sir.
What was the proof on that? And,
80,
and
I believe. Price point, I'm going to say this one, because I haven't looked up the prices and I didn't purchase these. Travis and Cole purchased them. This one's probably going to run you about 50, 55. Because of our government and tariffs, a couple years ago, they put tariffs on imports. So a lot of these, this bottle here, because whenever I drank this bottle often, it was around $50, $51. You could find it mid to high 40s in some places. Now it's 60, 65. So it's an unfortunate thing, but it is what it is. So the Dalmore 12, let me go look at my notes. So this is from the Highland region. And I don't even think I think I glazed over this. So we have the Lowlands, the Highlands, Speyside, Campbelltown, and then Iowa. Those are the main 5 regions. Like I said earlier, there is an unofficial 6th region, which is Islands. But the Highlands host, I think, the majority of all distilleries. Speyside has more distilleries in their region than any other. Highlands, I believe, are second, and then Lowlands, Campbelltown, there's very few. Like on Islay. Islay is an island off the coast of Scotland. It only has 8 distilleries. I believe the Lowlands or Campbelltown. Campbelltown, I believe, only has 3 active distilleries in their region. So it's weird stuff. I'm learning and remembering all this stuff again because I've been in bourbon and different American whiskeys for the last 5 years. I think it's hilarious when Cole and Travis say, like, "Hey man, you want to do a Scotch tasting?" Man, I haven't been drinking Scotch in like 4 or 5 years. But you know what? I'll take it. Get by it.
Since we did it at Tempest?
Yeah. 2019.
That was 19?
Yeah, 2019. I hosted a Scotch tasting for the East Texas Bourbon Society at Tempest Golf Club over in what's that, Gladewater, Liberty
Yeah.
City. So yeah, that was fun. That was kind of on the tail end of my Scotch experience. So, you try the Dalmore yet? Or red? Now the Dalmore,
Hey, Paul.
this one is a double matured. Oh, there you go. It's aged in American white oak and Oloroso sherry cask. I don't know if there's a percentage. It's kind of meh.
It's got like a bland.
Yes. That's why. It's got a
It's
very
got bitter, bland.
yeah. It's a very one note.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in my opinion, the Dalmore has gone downhill over the last few years. I had found older expressions, older bottlings of this, and they were much better than this current batch, the current releases. It's still a good whiskey. It's not bad. It's easily drinkable, easily approachable. But as far as like flavorful expressions, it's not top of my list.
And what most people think Scotch is, this is very, not like peat. It's smooth, very smooth.
Yeah. You got any thoughts out there? Anybody?
Amy had a what?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to you?
About the other one, about the first one, it had an apple taste.
Okay. I mean,
So I was
that's
thinking like apricot or something, right?
100%.
Yeah.
You're gonna get from certain single malts. I get fresh cut apples or either like you said apricots. You're gonna get some different stone fruits in there. You might even get like fresh cut grass, bread, baking spices. And it's not really dependent on the region because all of these, and something I wanted to touch on, all of these are 100% barley.
That's what I was about to ask. Like
Yeah.
Nashville. That was about
100% barley. So
It's all region based.
it's all region based. So where it's distilled, the region it's distilled in, where they get their malted barley from. So this is all 100% malted barley. There's no other ingredients. It's malted barley and distilled water, basically, or water from the local river source or lake or whatever they use. And one thing that I liked about Scotch is because you have one ingredient or 2 ingredients, you have so many different variations with just 2 ingredients. Whereas like bourbon, you've got 3 to 4 different ingredients, corn, rye, malted barley, sometimes wheat. So you have so many different variations in bourbon and even rye whiskey. Whereas you've got 2 ingredients here, but you've got so many different variations of it, which a lot of it has to do with the barrels they age them in. Once we get to these, sometimes they'll use peat to, basically smoke the barley in the process. So you're going to get a lot of different.
That's how
It's amazing to me you get a lot of different variations out of so few.
Are there tons of different varieties of barley? Like,
Yeah.
like Iron
Oh,
Root,
yeah.
Iron Root
Yeah.
has, they use like
Yeah.
several different kinds of corn.
Yeah. Well, because I'm trying to,
Yeah.
revive my memory. I was looking, most of these distilleries, they outsource their barley maltings. So there's a several large mechanical processing centers that malt the barleys for them. Very few of them, like Lefroy, I think Highland Park, Balvenie. There's a couple, there's a few distilleries that actually still malt the barley on location, but it's only a small percentage, like 10 to 15% of the barley they use is malted on location. Whereas the vast majority of these whiskey distilleries, they're actually getting their barley from similar sources. So probably, and this is just a thought, this is not fact, I'm just thinking out loud. I would imagine that the Highlands probably has one single outfit that does all the maltings for that area. Speyside, they probably have their own, barley malting center, and then so on and so forth. You got Iowa.
I know they talk about like certain corns come off as sweeters or corns come off as whatever.
And this was an 80 proof.
So I think these first three are all going to be 80 proof. This one's 43. I think this one's 46. 46%, and then the last one, 43%.
So fairly,
They're all low
but
proof.
we're often drinking things
It's
like
like
Oh,
water.
yeah.
It's like water for us.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So, and that's, I think that's some of the redeeming factors. So here recently, I've gotten into tequila and mezcals because, I like 100 proof bourbon. I like, Maker's Mark, cash strength. I drink stuff that's higher proof often. Well, it's summertime in Texas. It's 95 to 100 degrees outside. I don't need to be drinking cash strength bourbon. And I've realized over this summer that, you know what? After a long hot day, nice cold Mexican beer and a shot of tequila goes really good when it's hot.
Good homemade ranch water.
Oh yeah, ranch waters. And obviously most tequilas are bottled around 80 proof.
Yeah.
And I think it's a redeeming factor if you're trying to get something flavorful and just not get completely hammered. Then maybe some scotches might be up your alley, or even some tequilas and mezcals. So you still get the flavor. You get to drink one. You get a little edge up, round out the curves a little bit, but still get some flavor without just getting completely just slobber-knockered. Any final thoughts on the Dalmore? Kind of meh. That's what I thought. All right. So we're gonna try the Macallan. Now, the Macallan itself is, I believe, either number 2 or number 3 on popularity. I believe it's Glenlivet. Actually, I think it's Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, and that might be. I might have those two reversed. And then Macallan. I believe Macallan is the number 3 producing single malt distillery in the world. And I think this is going to be a pleasant surprise to a lot of people in the room. My cohort in crime on the YouTube channel enjoyed this one more, and I don't want to put any thoughts in anybody's head, but this was probably his favorite out of the bunch. It's really good. Yeah, it's a solid. I believe price point on this one is going to run you $75, $80. It used to be around $60, $65, but like I said, government, they like to tax stuff. Hey, don't worry about these notes. Downward sucks. So, something to point out with the Macallan, it is from the Speyside region. Speyside is the River Spey, and it's basically on the side of the river. So it's pretty simple. I mean, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So there's, from what I was looking up earlier, there's roughly 60 distilleries in the Speyside region. So it's more heavily populated with distilleries than any other region. Like I said earlier, Isla only has 8. Campbelltown, I believe, has 3 functioning distilleries. Now they have over like 30 30 plus discontinued distilleries. So it used to be it used to have a lot of distilleries in that area, but you know, through like prohibition and stuff in the early 1900s, it just killed all that. But one thing I wanted to point out about the Macallan, which I thought very interesting, there is almost 3.5 pages of different releases from this one company. And I do believe they have the oldest whiskey ever released. I want to say it's like 64 or 72 years old, which is ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how it stays in the barrel that
Is
long.
there anything left in it?
Yeah.
You can get as much of
They
it.
probably got one bottle out of it.
Here's your core.
I can only imagine 70 years in a barrel, it tastes like a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yes. I've had a 23-year-old Elijah Craig. Everybody in here knows Elijah Craig, I hope so. And it tasted like a chunk of oak. And that's very good. Yeah. It wasn't worth the money, and it was nice to have and experience at the time, but I would not spend my money on it. Just my opinion.
What year was it?
23.
Elijah Craig.
I had that crazy year packing, and I didn't think it was good either.
Yeah, 20 or 25.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but I didn't think it was like
Worth the
what-
hype.
yeah.
It's not worth the hype.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a point of diminishing returns when it comes to aging whiskey.
Exactly.
I mean, my opinion as far as bourbon, 12 to 15 years is like the sweet spot. I mean, Wild Turkey 101 is between 6 and 8. Their 70th anniversary 8-year-old was phenomenal, but we tried their new 8-year release, not as good. So it's like, any thoughts on the Macallan?
Right. The note on it alone is, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you get a lot of fresh fruit, maybe some apples, some grassy notes, a little bit of baking spices and stuff like that. A little bit of maybe some pepper, some white pepper on the back end. Pepper, like black pepper, just a touch of it. I mean, it's really on the finish. So, and it's, well, this comes from 7, 8 to 10 years of trying different whiskeys and actually trying to break them down and find the tasting notes. I used to nerd out real bad about this years ago. Now I just like to have fun, have a good time, share a new experience with new friends. That's what it's all about. Any negative thoughts on the Macallan? You come to me. So I almost forgot. I did write down notes about if you like a specific region, like the Auchentoshan was pretty tame and mild. The Dalmore was pretty tame and mild. The Macallan, got some excitement going on out there. Some other notable distilleries, and I took notes on them, from the Speyside region. You have Avalor, Balvenie, Benriach, Benromach, Cardew, Cragganmore, Dalwhinnie, Glen Grant, Glen Moray, Glen Alecky, Glen Farkless, and Glenfiddich. Now, I did say there's like 60 different distilleries, so probably the majority of the distilleries and the whiskeys you see in the Scotch Isle are probably going to be Speyside or even Highland. All right. Y'all ready to turn it up a notch? Okay. I don't know what I thought I was going to do, just stand up here and read my Wikipedia notes. All right. So Glen Scotia is a Campbelltown whiskey. Now, I believe, from what I was reading, this is actually may or may not be a new release in their lineup, because from what I saw earlier, they had like a 12-year, 15-year, 18-year, but this is a 10-year peated. So whenever you hear the term peated, basically what they do is they will take their local vegetation. Does anybody know what Scotland, the terrain in Scotland looks like? It's just rocky, just craggy, not a whole lot of trees. So it's cold. So to stay warm in the wintertime, they cut out the bricks of their local vegetation, the ground, dry it out, and that's what they use for heat. Well, turns out some Scotsman hundreds of years ago, probably by accident because he was drunk, found out like, hey, well, you can use this and you can smoke the barley and it'll impart flavors on the whiskey. Much like the esteemed Elijah Craig, the Baptist minister, who, just so happened to use the burnt down wood from his farmhouse and aged his whiskey in it. He found out it imparted flavors on it. So what you're going to find with this one, you can probably go a little louder than I'm small. So it's going to be very pungent. It might have a smoky, almost dirty taste to it. Now, I will say, if you can allow yourself to experience this, get the flavor from it, and really try to dive deep in it, it will allow you to taste other things more in depth. So, for the vast majority of my Scotch experience, I drank peated whiskey, and being able to drink peated whiskey and find all this good stuff behind it, getting past the smoke and the punchiness and the dirtiness, you can find the different little characteristics. It will allow you to taste other things more in depth. That's just my experience.
Drink bourbon, kill your cow.
It's a lot of fun. Working on this farm.
Now, most of their releases are not peated. For whatever reason, Travis found this one, and that's what we got to try tonight. This one's Campbelltown. Island. We're going to have the main island whiskey is going to be Talisman. And there's a couple of them. Actually, if you look at the map, so you have islands, obviously Speyside is kind of here. Islands are more on this area, and then you have locals, which is straight off the bottom. The town is kind of right next to the locals. And then Isla is on the west coast. Islands is its own one big chunk of island. Actually, since you asked, I have a map in here somewhere. Here we go. There we go. So here's So what negative comments do we have? It's peaty. Well, it's
List of the top 10. Actually, it's not that bad. It's really not that.
what was that?
I do like the peated stuff myself.
I'm a fan of the peated stuff.
Not a whole lot of it, but I do enjoy it.
I think like with everything, you get to a point of diminishing returns when it comes to peatiness. You can kind of go a little overboard with it. I've had, I almost bought one. I've had some Ardbeg. Ardbeg is from the same region, Isla, as Lafroy, and it just tastes like an extinguished campfire. So it's very hard to enjoy it. Some of their releases are great. Some of them just taste like straight soot. But
Or peaty one, which I'm not a fan of. This one was enjoyable. I got a lot of citrus off the
Yeah.
nose and the flavor. Like,
no, I agree.
but then afterwards, I felt like I went and licked the chin. Like it's still stuck in my tongue.
What is bad is I thought it smelled. I didn't think it smelled good at all. It wasn't as
Well, I do agree. Like I get a lot of citrus, like on the very initial flavor, some citrusy notes, some grassy notes. But then whenever it starts to finish, that smoky,
The ash is
that
like,
ash.
I got ash on my tongue.
Yeah. All right. Y'all ready for this last one? It's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, and I guess I'm gonna give you a hint of who I am. The first time I tasted this one, it was the second peated Scotch I had ever had, and I fell in love. So, so whenever I got into my Scotch phase back in 2014, I started with Glenlivet. I went to Glenfiddich, tried several different variations. Went to Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie is a great Scotch. It also owns Ardbeg. So if you want to try a bunch of different variations of good Scotch, Glenmorangie would be a good one to pick apart. But after Glenmorangie, I'm walking around Harley. Kind of funny story. One of the reps was there looking at the shelves, seeing what he needed to stock. And I'm over here looking at Ardbeg and Ardbeg, Lafroy, and Lagavulin, all the peated stuff. And he's like, "Oh, that's peated Scotch. I usually gotta have a chaser when I drink that." I was like, challenge accepted. And I went home and I was like, "What the heck is this?" I finished the bottle because Mama didn't raise no quitter. And the next week when I went back to Harley's, I was looking at the peated Scotch again, and I grabbed a 4010, and I'm like, okay, that's where it's at. So I stayed in peated Scotch for about 2 years. It's
This smells medicine.
it will give you hints of the medicine.
Some napkin.
Yeah. It might taste like wet Band-Aids. It's very sooty. It's iodine. It's sea salt. It's the aroma of iodine. You want to hate it? You don't hate it, do you? You don't hate it. We got one. You want to hate it, but the flavors, it's so weird. The flavors are not the same as the smell.
This is actually easier drinker than the Glen Scotia.
Really? So, I'm not going to have everybody's attention just to tell y'all how they impart these flavors. Alright, so during the malting process, and like I said earlier, this distillery, they get about 10 to 15% of their malted barley they actually make in-house. They malt it in-house. Now, does anybody know what a malting process is?
Let it start to
When it starts to bloom and germinate. So to stop the malting process, they will take their local vegetation, their peat, they cut out bricks of it about yay big, dry it over the winter or the summer or whatever, and then they'll throw it in the kiln and they'll smoke it at a low temperature. So all this smoke, just like we cook barbecue, brisket, whatever, ribs, they do the same thing with their malted barley to stop the malting process. And all of that smoke imparts its flavor. Because it's a seaside region, you get thoughts of, sea salt, sea
I was gonna say
spray.
salt.
Right. It's very
Yeah.
fishy
I thought
kind
it
of
was crazy
feeling.
when I was
So a lot of that, it has maybe fishy's the wrong word. It's like a seafaring, experience that it imparts on you. Like, I ain't ready.
I can't get There's a little sweetness in there, like there's something a little sweet.
Any negative feedback? Oh, look at that face. That's a good one. There it is. I told you, we have any good feedback on the last one?
It's not near as bad as I thought it was.
You know what? In my opinion, that means that you can try stuff that has much more bold flavors and be able to find.
I may have been on one years ago.
The people,
I've been on.
there's nothing wrong with hating it. Like, you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you can find the good flavors behind these two, then I think you have the ability to try a world of different things.
This is what I was really cool. I was on a cruise and we did a
Here's someone else in it.
But then one of the things that was really interesting is they had alcohol. So we added just a little bit of ours. A little bit of alcohol.
So you should try. This is the cask strength. This is the cask strength version. And then this one here is a triple mature version of these. So these two right here, well, this one, every year, every May, they have a festival on Island, and it's their Alton Music Festival. All of the distilleries release a special annual release. Now this one, Cargus means friendship in game. So every year, before we release a special Cargus, I have like the last 10 years of Cargus releases at my house. And I brought this one because this is probably one of my favorites. So, new friends, I'm going to share it with people who are adventurous. And then I brought some Lagavulin. I know we didn't have it on it. Lagavulin is also from Iowa because I was a big peat head. I love peated Scotch. I've got probably 30 or 40 different peated Scotch bottles in my closet. It's all my closet whiskey. So I brought a couple of these for anybody who's adventurous and wants to try some different peated Scotches. And then this one, if you want to try this one, this is a Highland whiskey. It's Oban 18. It was released, I want to say, in 2015, and it's never been released since. This is a special whiskey for me. If you want to try it, I'm glad to share it with you. It holds a special place in my heart. I don't want to get into that sad story, but I'll gladly share it with everybody here. But that's the core lineup of tonight's tasting. Like I said, I brought 5 more whiskeys if people are adventurous and they want to try it. If you want to try this one, this is not a peated whiskey. It is an 18-year-old Highland. Very sweet and flavorful. So that's what I'll
With the special ones, can I have like just a teeny tiny little bit?
Yeah.
Just yeah, we can draw. We have some. Yeah.
whatever you want, whatever y'all want to try.
I'm gonna let you pour it because I don't want to.
I want some of that. I'm gonna let you.
I don't want to tell y'all to stand up and have this bottle, but I'm glad to share.
Three checks by it.
So I brought something that's heated, but it's not a Scotch. It's a bourbon.
This specific label.
Yeah, I'm gonna try them all. Yeah, I do this one now.
I'll try a little bit. What do you want? This is the Nick Offerman releases, one of them.
Okay.
This is
Oh, really?
I mean, as far as like, I think I have a little lot. A little lot. You tell me what I should, you know.
Nick Offerman one?
We have that.
Which one?
The
Oh,
bourbon
it
is
was
yes.
it was
You're not like,
Yeah, ice cubes to it. Is it needed?
This one.
Alan, Antonio Trip. It's like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one did you want to try?
The one
Isn't that good?
Good, that is so full.
This is the one that he said was special.
$100.
This is the 11.
It's the 18-year-age.
And this is the triple.
I forgot it's playing. I could probably go ahead and stop. Hey, it's still playing. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Like the video, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. Like always, drink some whiskey, share it with your friends and family. Be safe, don't drink and drive. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.